All right, let's go ahead and get started so that we can finish up so that you can get started. Today we are going to be talking about percent increase and percent decrease, which isn't that difficult, but it is a little bit different than some of the things that you've probably done. Now I'm going to change it over to our vocabulary, I'll read over those, and I'll switch it right back to this in case you have not finished copying that down. Now, our vocabulary for today, our first one is going to be percent change is the amount stated as a percent that a number increases or decreases. Our percent increase is a percent change describing an increase in quantity. And finally, percent decrease is a percent change describing a decrease in quantity. All right, now let's take a look at our examples for today. The first thing you should notice is our formula. Okay, the formula that we're going to use in order to solve these is going to be a fraction with the amount of change on top over the original amount. Okay, now to find our amount of change, we have to subtract our two numbers that it gives us. Okay, we're going to subtract two numbers to find the amount of change. Okay, we're going to subtract the two numbers to find the amount of change. Okay, so let's take a look at number one. It says find the percent increase, I should say, or decrease from 36 to 45. The first thing we need to do is identify whether this is an increase or a decrease. Are we increasing or decreasing when we go from 36 to 45? Yeah, we're increasing because we're going from 36 to 45. Therefore, we are getting bigger, so it's going to be an increase. So that's going to be part of my answer right there. Okay, now I need to actually set this problem up. Well, I need to find my amount of change over the original amount. So the first thing I need to do is subtract my two numbers. So I'm going to subtract 45 minus 36, which gives me 9. Okay, now I'm going to take that 9 and put it over my original amount. Okay, this is my amount of change right here. That is my amount of change right there. Okay, so I'm going to take that 9 and put it over the original number. The original number is going to be 36 because I'm going from 36 to 45. So it'd be 9 over 36. Now I'm not done yet because I need to simplify that, and I need to change that into a percent because, well, it asked me to find the percent. So I'm going to simplify that first, and I know that 9 goes into both of those. Let me see, 9 divided by 9 is 1. 36 divided by 9 is 4. So I end up with 1/4. Well, if I was going to write that as a percent, what would 1/4 be as a percent? Yeah, it would be 25%. Now, how do we know that? Well, we could always divide up and change it to a decimal and move my decimal over, or we could also get it to be something over 100, which we should know that, well, 4 times 25 is 100, 1 times 25 is 25, and since 25 over 100, that would be my percent, so it would be 25%. So my answer for that one would be an increase of 25%. Okay? Not that difficult, as long as we do our steps correctly. All right, let's take a look at number 2. On this one, we want to know if we're going to our percent increase from 40 to 59. Again, the first thing I need to identify is if I'm increasing or decreasing from 40 to 59. Yeah, because I'm getting larger, from 40 to 59 is getting bigger, so therefore it's going to be an increase. Okay, so let's find our amount of change. So we're going to subtract those. That's going to give me my amount of change right there. Okay, so what's 59 minus 40? Yeah, 19. So my amount of change is 19. Okay, so I'm going to put that 19 over my 40. Okay, which I don't think I can simplify that because 19 is a prime number. So since I can't simplify that, I need to divide up to get that to a decimal. And 19 divided by 40 gives me 0.475. Now, how do I change that decimal right there to a percent? Yeah, I got to move it over 2 places, remember? So I move it over 2 places, so that would give me an increase of 47.5%. Questions on any of that so far? No? All right, then let's take a look at our last one here. And we're going to go from 85 to 30. Now, is this an increase or a decrease? Yeah, this was a decrease because I'm starting on 85 and I'm going down to 30. So, it's going to be a decrease. And let's do our subtraction here. We'll have our 85 minus 30. Well, what's 85 minus 30? Yep, it's going to give me 55. Okay. Then I have to take my 55 and put it over my original amount, which on this one, my original amount is 85. That's my amount of change right there. So I'm going to have 55 over 85. Just like that. Now, we can simplify that to maybe make it a little bit easier for us to divide here in a moment or change to a percent. I know that 5 goes into both those. How many times does 5 go into 55? How many times does 5 go into 85? 17. Okay, so I'll get 11 over 17, which obviously I don't know what that is in a decimal, but I can divide up from here, and that'll make it a little bit easier for me to divide up because the numbers are a little bit smaller. Okay, so whenever I divide 11 divided by 17, that gives me a repeating decimal. So I'm going to go ahead and round that to 3 places. So I'll get 0.647. And I'll move my decimal over 2 places to get that into percent. So it would be 64.7%. Well, are there any questions on this? Does this make sense? The amount of change over the original amount, then we have to divide to convert that to a percent? Okay, nothing difficult. Okay, well, great. Then let's get to work.